With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and this is a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show. I wanted to get into a topic that I think a lot of us think about, but we don't necessarily speak on it because we don't want to, shake the bush too much or rock the boat too much. But before I do that, I have got to let you know, this episode is powered by Loud Cup. Elevate your fan game with a revolutionary design that transforms your cheers into a sippable delight. Whether you're rallying your team or celebrating a win, Loud Cup enhances the thrill. With an array of vibrant colors to match your favorite teams, you can make every game a home game. Visit loudcup.com to see why the Loud Cup is a sports fan's best friend. This time of year, man, there's a lot of soul searching and self-reflecting and that kind of stuff that goes on. And we don't really know how to, get a totality of the money spent compared to the value that we got out of it. Because, it's this time of year, money's tight. It's Christmas time. It's the holidays. You're trying to figure out where did all this money go? And as a travel ball parent, we understand that there are known expenses going into it, whether it's team dues and organizational fees and uniforms and, tournaments and stuff like that. But then there's these hidden fees that hidden, money takers is what I call them, these little things that add up over time. Now, imagine if you knew going in what the cost would be. It would probably be $1,000 more, $1,500 more. I mean, everybody's situation is different when we're talking money here, but nonetheless, it's always more expensive than it's put out there to be. Whether you're the team mom and you've been tasked with, hey, this is the cost, or you're the coach or the assistant coach or whatever, and hey, this is what the team's trying to do. This is the tournaments we want to play in. These are the camps we want to go to. These are the events we want to do. Here's that cost. Man, every time you do that, go ahead and multiply that by like 1.25 or 1.30, because that's going to give you a more realistic number. How many of you went into it going, okay, wow, $1,500 isn't that bad. But when you actually total it up, it's like $2,200 or $2,400 or something like that you spent. Now, I know there's other people out there that spend way more, and then there's other people out there that don't spend near that amount. But just as a ballpark figure, to give us a number to kind of work with, let's look at $1,500 for a spring season. Spring season, for a majority of us, will go from, say, April into August. That's your spring summer season. And of course, your fall ball season usually gets cranked up towards the end of August, and it'll run to maybe the end of November. So you have really two seasons when it comes to travel ball, if you break it down and you look at it. Now, there are areas and there are teams and there are different places and different things that will run a full season, say January 1 to December 31, especially like if you're in the lower age groups where high school ball doesn't really impact it too much. We're talking 8s and 10s and 12s. You do have some middle school ball in some states. So again, those dates may shift a little bit. You may not be playing travel ball during school ball season and that kind of thing. But to get back to the point, did you get as much value for the money spent that you thought? Of course not, right? We always want more, right? So where can we sort of trim the fat and be a little bit more proactive in the money that's spent? Because at the end of the day, it is a lot of money. When we're talking about the gas, we're talking about different articles of the uniform, whether, man, I need to get some new socks. These cleats are busted. Where's your belt? Batting gloves got a hole in it. There's all these little these expenses that don't necessarily come up, but when you put it all together, it's like, holy crap, we spent a lot of money on it. So you're not alone. It doesn't make it easier that you're not alone. I mean, money is money, right? But going into next year, if you have this idea that you've put together this year, before you get into next year's season, before you get into maybe even fundraising, before you get into saving money here and there, because you got family vacations, you've got birthdays, you've got Christmas, you got all the stuff that the money has to go out on. But you also want your daughter to continue her journey in this travel ball. There's chance at scholarships and playing at the next level and yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you continue to put this money out there. And I'm not trying to tell anybody to do anything with their money, but I'm just letting you know that if you are more realistic with your numbers, it will help you justify the cost and be able to try to find as much value in what you're doing. So that kind of ties into, are you staying with this team? Are you looking for a new team? Are you starting a team? Where are you going to be allocating your funds to? Big time organizations offer a lot of different things. They could have partnerships with major companies that give discounts. They could offer like an online school that may help coaches become better coaches, players become better players. They may have meetings. They may have recruiting advice. They may have like monthly sort of get-togethers where the head of the organization is able to do a Zoom call with all the players throughout the country that are a part of this organization. There could be discounted camps and clinics. There could be, friendlies that are involved. You got to pay for the fields. You got to pay for the umpires and stuff like that. So there's different ways that you can find value in this stuff. So it's all about your perspective. And the whole reason for this episode of the podcast is really just to shine some light on it so that next year you do remember what you learned from previous years. Or we used to do it this way and this helped us save a bunch of money. Or we did it this way last year and I think it was $500 more than what it was told to be. Because when you go into a destination tournament or something, it was your first one this year, and you're looking at Airbnbs and you're looking at hotels, you're looking at these state of play tournaments and stuff like that. It can add up really quick. All of a sudden, this weekend trip, this 3 or 4 day tournament that you were going to, now has a $200 a night stay at a hotel. You're eating out every night, every meal. I don't know too many teams. I know me personally, I don't really bring that into the dues because it's personal. Like I don't care where you stay as long as you show up to the tournament as a coach. I don't care where you eat as long as the young is eating and they're nutritionally sound to be able to play the next day. So whatever you decide that you want to spend on. So this individual perspective that you have can help others. And again, if you listened to yesterday's podcast episode, we talked a little bit about just because somebody else does something doesn't mean you have to do something. So you could be on one of those teams that is nothing but a local travel team and you get more bang for your buck by staying here. And there are a lot of teams that do that. I've been a part of teams that do that and it works out. And then you have other teams that can either fundraise or can afford whatever, and they play out of state constantly. They're buying plane tickets. They are whatever they're doing. The money that's spent sort of equals the value that they're getting. And sometimes you get more value, and most of the time I'm going to say you get less than the value, because we can always complain. We can always say, it wasn't worth this cost, but we got to go through that experience, right? A lot of us, all of us, I'm willing to bet all of us have played in a tournament that we thought, holy crap, we just lost a bunch of money. This tournament wasn't worth, X amount of dollars. So before you jump into it this year and you get moving and you get going, sit back, remember this podcast episode and go, okay, hey, wait just a minute. Where do I think we lost money last year? Where do I think we wasted some money at? And what can I do better this year? Maybe it's an individual sponsorship that, offsets that. Have her go to some local businesses or whatever and say, hey, can you help offset some of my costs? I'm chasing my dream. Would you be willing to support? Run an individual fundraiser. Go to your local gas station, buy up, $100 worth of scratch offs, sell them for $5 a piece. Once you make your money back, set a drawing date and boom, there you go. It kind of offsets some cost. Really get involved in the team fundraising to help everybody. So if the team dues and all that kind of stuff is paid for via fundraiser or sponsorships, now that out-of-pocket money that used to go to paying for little Susie's team dues now goes to you guys' individual spring and summer season, where you're staying, where you're eating, what kind of gear you're wearing, replacement socks, and that kind of stuff. So, I'm not coming at you as like, hey, I know all the answers on this stuff. I'm coming at you with, take it from me on my experience. Every time I think I'm going to spend $2,000, that thing goes to $3,000. Or if I think this year it's going to be $5,000 to $6,000, and now all of a sudden I'm at $7,000, take it from my experience. And also, if you would, please leave me a comment, whether you're, if you're getting this link on Facebook, or if you're seeing it on Insta, or you've gotten it from the YouTube channel or any of the podcast, platforms, Spotify, whatever, wherever you listen to this, don't go into too much detail. I don't want to know the ins and outs. I don't want to get too personal, but give me some of your numbers. Like, hey, our dues were $1,200 this year, but I think when it was all said and done, I ended up with like $3,000. Everybody else on this, or is it just me that complains about the money that goes into it? Because it is expensive. Not that I want to stop and not allow my daughters to continue chasing this dream, but I know too that, man, I think travel softball has become my most expensive bill. You know what I mean? So is travel softball your most expensive bill? Let me know how you feel on that. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that one. Think about that. Leave me a comment, and kind of kick this around. Talk about this with some of your parents and some of your friends. Maybe they do other travel sports. Maybe they're volleyball or baseball or basketball or whatever. I kind of just want to get a sort of a read, take a temperature on the cost of things, and then also kind of let you reset and evaluate your expenses, and maybe it'll help you out. I don't necessarily know why I thought about this at this time. I guess, and subconsciously, I'm thinking about our team funding for next year, and I'm thinking about how much money is spent. I mean, some of you guys are in the same boat I am with having, multiple players. So then there's multiple fundraising, there's multiple dues, there's multiple fees, there's that's a times 2 or times 3 in some cases, whatever your situation is. So if I can help just one of you guys, at least kind of stop and go, oh, wait a minute, we've got to cut some of our spending when it comes to travel sports. I hope I help you out, and maybe we can help somebody else out. So do me a favor, share this with a friend, and when you do, you make sure you tell them you love them.